Hello, good afternoon. This is David Stover talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of March 1st through March 5th, 2021. Okay, and what I like to do here is I will look at all the major Forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, just so we can see what happened this past week. Okay, and then I will compare that to higher time frames, such as the 4-hour daily and weekly time frames. And then I will try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week, right? So to begin with, we're definitely beginning to see signs of reversals in the market. The US dollar is starting to go up, and the euro, Great British pound, Australian dollar, these other major pairs are starting to do the opposite. They're getting ready to go down. So if we look right here on the chart, I have pulled up here on EURUSD, okay? If we look this past week, all right, we see that the price was riding sideways right here for quite some time, okay, in a real tight formation, and then had a short spike up, okay, around Thursday, and then this last Friday it just shot down. All right, that's a good sign that this will be dropping. Okay, so now if we look at the 4-hour chart, look at this. Okay, the 4-hour chart definitely hit a strong resistance and definitely had a big drop, and it's going to continue to drop. Okay, now probably what will happen this week is you're going to see a spike back up and then another spike down. Okay, if we look at the daily chart, okay, the daily chart's been showing to go down for quite some time now, okay, for the last couple weeks, and it's just been, it dropped and then it's just been riding sideways, and we're looking for a big drop even more. Okay, so it's going to be a slow process, but overall we're going to be definitely seeing this be dropping, right? If we look at the weekly chart, okay, if you look at the weekly chart for the past month, we've been working on a downtrend. Okay, so yes, we are definitely going to a downtrend. So now is the time to begin thinking about selling EURUSD. Okay, if we look here on the 1-hour chart, we have an up arrow. Okay, so to me that's a strong indication that yes, this will retrace and come back up a ways and then drop again. Okay, in the beginning of the market on Monday, we probably will see it drop even more, and this probably will repaint, I don't know, but soon, you know, Monday going into Tuesday like that, we're going to see it retrace and come back up, and then probably around Wednesday we'll see another drop back down. So what should you do this week? This week I would focus on selling only. Okay, keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for sell opportunities only. It says to buy right now, but if you buy right now, there's a chance it's going to keep dropping and you're going to have a huge drawdown. Okay, so definitely be looking to sell the EURUSD. Okay, moving on to Great British pound versus the US dollar. Okay, we see kind of a similar format. The price is pretty much in a tight range of market all week with very little movement, and then by the end of the week it just dropped off. Okay, now it's just kind of hovering right here. Okay, again we have an up arrow to buy, but you know, right now you do not see it really going up, do you? So it's definitely a good time to sell. If you look at the 4-hour chart, again we see that we have a strong signal to sell, and it's already been dropping. So we definitely hit some strong resistance this past week, and we can look forward to this dropping even more. And so again, in the beginning of the week, we're probably going to see it spike back up, and then by the middle of the week we'll see it spike back down even more, or drop more. If we look at the daily chart, okay, daily chart, we're finally seeing that downtrend emerge, and what we're looking for ultimately is a clean break. If we mark this like that, we mark our support like that, we are not out of the woods yet. Okay, so we need the price to break below this to get a clean downtrend. Okay, if you look at the weekly chart, same thing, right? It's definitely a good time to sell, but again, we are not breaking this uptrend. Okay, once you break this support, then we can sell long term. Okay, but in the short term, what can we do? Okay, right now on the 1-hour chart it says to buy. and we know it's going to drop down to this trend line. Okay, the price is going to drop down and touch this trend line this week. Okay, that is, it's not 100% guaranteed, but that is definitely what I'm expecting this week. So even the 4-hour chart, look at the 4-hour chart, we're looking for this to drop and touch that trend line and probably bounce back up again. Okay, and it might take another week or two before this really breaks and we have a clean downtrend emerge. But for this week, I'm looking for this to drop, so I would keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for sell opportunities only. Okay, the following week, next week, you know, it might be a little different, but right now I would be looking to sell only. Okay, moving on to Australian dollar versus the US dollar. Okay, again, we see a tight range of market with a big drop at the end of the week, so that's a good sign. Now, if all these currency pairs are dropping at the end of the week, that means the US dollar had a spike up at the end of the week. Okay, so same situation here. If we look at the 4-hour chart, you know, it shows the sell, which is a very good sign that we are going into a downtrend, and the daily chart as well. Look at that nice big drop. So if we draw a trend line, watch this. Okay, we draw a trend line going up, so we are now starting to see this break. Okay, I would wait, put charts on a 4-hour time frame. Okay, what I would do is I would wait for about, you know, a few candles to break below. What's going to happen is it's going to break below and bounce back up, and this right now is a support, but now it's breaking and that forms a resistance, so the price will spike back up, hit that resistance and drop more. Okay, so like I said, on the 1-hour chart it shows the buy. Okay, so we can expect the price to spike back up and then come down more. So what should you do this week? Again, I would look for sell opportunities only. Keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, wait for the red arrow and then sell. Close the trade on the opposite blue arrow. Okay, that's the safest thing to do. Moving on to US dollar versus the Swiss franc. Okay, now this one's a little different, but we definitely, look at this, we definitely see the price going up. Okay, price ended a lot higher than where it began, and like on the end of the week we did see a little surge, so that's a good sign. Okay, this is going to be, it's going to take some time for this to really go up, and you're going to see it go up, right sideways, go up, right sideways, like that. It's going to be a slow process. Okay, but you definitely want to look to buy the US dollar versus Swiss franc. If you look at the 4-hour chart, okay, now the 4-hour chart, we hit some strong resistance right here. Okay, but we had this big surge up. What's going to happen is the price is going to drop back down probably this week, and then the following week we'll see it spike back up again. If you look at the daily chart, the daily chart shows the buy, and it's going to be a long time before we see another red arrow. Okay, we have 2 blue arrows in a row, and typically when you have that, the third one will be the opposite color, which in this case the next arrow should be a red arrow, and I don't see this dropping further to form another blue arrow. So yes, it will form a red arrow, but where it will form, how high, we don't know, and that's going to probably take several months before we see that happen. Okay, if you look at the weekly chart, again, we have a strong signal to buy, and it is definitely going into an uptrend. Okay, so what should you do this week? Keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, and the fact that the 4-hour shows to sell, I would say that it is safe to both buy and sell. Okay, right now it looks like a good time to sell. I would not place any sell trades right now, at least until the New York session on Monday. Okay, that way we can see you know, what is going on with the market, how it's behaving. Okay, when the market first opens, the market is kind of sluggish coming out of the weekend, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Okay, we need to see activity, we need to see reaction from the US dollar, and when the New York session starts, then we can see what's going to happen, if it's going to shoot up, shoot down, whatever. Looking like it's going to go down, so I would predict that we're going to see the US dollar drop in the beginning of the week. Okay, and then by the middle of the week we see it spike back up again. Okay, it's just my guess based on what we're seeing. But like I said, it's been very bullish. It's been very strong. So you know, you can count on it going up in the long run. But for this week, you should be safe to both buy and sell. Okay. Moving on to US dollar versus Japanese yen. Again, here, look, this past week we saw a clear shot up, slow and steady. That's good. So what's going to happen this week? If we look at the 4-hour chart, we have a signal to sell, same thing. So it's probably in the beginning of the week, we'll probably see a drop. And then by the middle of the week, towards the end of the week, we'll see a spike back up again. Okay. If you look at the daily chart, again, it shows the sell. So that's a little bit different. So we definitely got some strong resistance right now. But as we've seen in the past, you could have a red arrow drop and form another red arrow even higher. We don't know. But if we look at the weekly chart, we have a strong signal to sell, and we've had that for quite some time. So long term is going to be going up. All the US dollar pairs are going to be going up long term. Okay. So what do you do this week? Very simple. Okay, keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, and you can both buy and sell. Okay, because you know it's going to be stagnant. It's going to be dropping and going back up, dropping, going back up. We probably will see this drop more than we will see it gain, but you know, I don't know exactly what's going to happen because it's been so bullish for the last couple of weeks. So you know, be careful with selling. If you want, you can buy only, but I do feel that it would be safe to both buy and sell because we definitely have some strong resistance right now. So we can see that this is going to be dropping and going back up. So it's probably going to ride sideways for a while and then go back up. If you look in the past always repeats. You know, the past repeats itself. We see here the price went up, came back down some, went up, came back down, went up, came back down, went up, and guess what? The next step is to go back down. So this week we're definitely going to see it drop. Okay, I don't think it's going to be a huge drop, and it should be safe to both buy and sell. Okay, moving on to US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Okay, this one is a little interesting. Both of these pairs are very strong currency pairs, so when you put them together, you get a lot of fighting. Now the US dollar has always been, probably always will be stronger than the Canadian dollar, but still they're both very strong currencies, especially in North America. So here we see the price drop some, but then it had a huge spike up at the end of the week, right? So that's a good sign that the US dollar is gaining momentum. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, okay, the 4-hour chart shows this huge spike up. Okay, we had this long drop right here for a couple weeks, and now it's spiking back up towards the end of February. Going into March, we should see this spike up even more. Now, one thing about US dollar versus Canadian dollar, this coming week is this coming Friday specifically. This coming Friday is the Non-Farm Payroll, okay, NFP, and that is when all the job reports will be produced, and you will see, probably most likely see a lot of volatility. There are predictions that the US dollar will have a good job report, so that means the US dollar will spike up. Okay, so what will happen this week? Well, we see a daily chart and weekly chart that is definitely going to an uptrend, right? Where it definitely hit some strong support, so we can predict this to be going up. So what would I do this week? Well, I think right now we hit some strong resistance. The one hour chart shows the sell, the 4-hour don't. But I would probably keep my charts on a 30-minute time frame. And for this particular pair, I would look for buy opportunities only. Okay, if there was a signal to sell on the 4-hour, I would say you could both buy and sell. But right now it's very strong going up. So keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame. Right now is a red arrow, as you can see. So wait for this to drop. It's going to drop some. You probably have to wait till about Tuesday or Wednesday before you can actually buy. Okay, and once you get the signal to buy, then you can place your trade and close it when you get the opposite red arrow. Okay, so that concludes my weekly trade predictions. If you have any questions at all about this, or you want me to analyze any other currency pair, Okay, please feel free to hit me up on Facebook. There is a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Okay, please contact me there first. Also, there is a link for my private Facebook group. Okay, and you can request to join my Facebook group and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. Okay, so that we can have an open discussion and we can all learn as we go. Okay, that's my whole plan, my whole goal to having this Facebook group. Okay, so with that said, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Please let me know how I can help you. Thank you so much.